Critical reading. The project of higher education is the production of new knowledge. Elementary school is a place where we learn to learn. High school is a place where we begin to learn the content of particular subject areas. College is a place where we continue to acquire that content and then transform it into new knowledge. Good college courses should invite students not only to regurgitate information, but also to produce it. The production of new knowledge requires collaboration. Scholars explore previous knowledge produced by other scholars, collaborate to identify research questions and conduct research, and publish new knowledge with the assistance of colleagues, readers, editors, and conference chairs. Reading is part of this scholarly collaboration. We read to access and understand other scholars' ideas. We read as part of applying, analyzing, and evaluating that knowledge. And we read to hone our thinking in the documents that communicate it. Here are some tips for thinking about and performing critical reading. Good readers don't start reading with the first word. They skim over the document before beginning so that they know what the document will be about and whether it will be worth their time. They might read the title and abstract, the introduction, the section headings, first sentences of paragraphs, visuals, and the conclusion before reading the document from beginning to end. The rhetorical situation is the interaction among individuals participating in a moment of communication. When beginning a reading, examine the rhetorical situation so that you understand the kinds of strategies that might be useful. What is the purpose of the document? Who is the audience? The audience is people who would go out of their way to read the document. Sometimes we're not the audience. What is the genre or type of document? Different genres have different content, format, situations, expectations, conventions, and processes. For example, newspapers, articles, and reports all operate slightly differently. What is the stance, thesis, or attitude of the writer toward the material? Please note that professors may assign readings from stances with which they disagree. So assigning a text does not necessarily indicate professors expect students should agree with it too. What media are used in the document, and how does the design of the document support the purpose and meaning? One aspect of the college reading rhetorical situation is that all texts are intended to be used in some way. For this reason, you'll want to develop a system for keeping track of what you've read so that you can locate it again. Please see also Section 1AA in Diana Hacker's A Writer's Reference. So these are some strategies for keeping track, right? You can annotate your textbooks, highlighting key phrases, indicating important passages, labeling them with words related to the kinds of themes you see emerging. You might number them if there are steps involved, and write questions or comments so that you can remember your thinking when you return later. If you're uncomfortable marking your books, use Post-its. Post-its are also nice because they can be removed, placed on a sheet of paper as part of the drafting process, and moved around to determine where you want to discuss each point. You might also consider taking notes or writing summaries. When doing this, make sure to indicate the wording belonging to the source with quotation marks and page numbers on which the material appears, so that you can ethically integrate this information into your writing in the future. Be careful, too, to note which ideas belong to the author and which to his or her sources. If you're reading electronic documents, consider printing those you may wish to use later so that they are easy to find and so that you can write directly on them. Often, one reading is not enough. If you have trouble understanding a reading, consider reading straight through quickly to get the gist, and then going back and rereading difficult sections. You will also want to reread as you prepare for exams, which we don't have in this class, or for writing related to your reading, which we do. Your class assignments will ask you to refer to your reading in class discussion, presentations, exams, written assignments, etc. Remember that this activity is not just to show what you know, but to show that you've read and thought about the reading, which indicates your mastery of course materials. Referring to reading is one way to show engagement with the course. Referring to reading also indicates your growing ability to join the scholarly dialogue occurring in the field. Scholars cannot publish articles and books without reading and citing existing sources. Practicing this engagement with reading indicates you understand the strategies of professionals. Regardless of the kind of reading you do, remember that college reading is a two-way relationship. Your background will change the meaning of the reading, and the reading will change you, challenging and deepening your beliefs and adding richness to your lived experience. As Robert Probst argues, transactional theory proposes that the relationship between the reader and text is much like that between the river and its banks, each working its effects upon the other. The entire college community grows through the interaction of people and ideas available in reading.